Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Help for the Guildless. My name, of course, is Antoine. Do you remember way back when email was all the rage? When the internet was brand new, everybody had an email address. They had different names, they had different characters, they had try-hard, edgy names with numbers in them, with elite hacker-style handles and everything like that. It's kind of become a dead medium, has it not? I very rarely use email now. Everything else is tweeting or sending a text message. Pretty much what my email is for now is just notifying me when I get a new subscriber, when there's a new comment on any video, and if there's any Twitter conversations that I need to pay attention to. When I got this notification, I was actually kind of shocked. It's an email directly from Twitter. I thought maybe I did something wrong, so before I even read the email, I had to make sure I could still tweet and that I wasn't banned or suspended because I sent a snowflake into a downward spiral of depression and self-loathing and cutting for something I may have inappropriately said. But it wasn't even that. So, curious, I opened the email. After being amazed at the size of my inbox first, I looked at the email. I'm not going to tell you how many messages it was, but it was almost triple digits. And it was from Twitter. Dear Antoine the Great. I love that they had to put that in the header. As part of our recent work to understand Russian-linked activities on Twitter during the 2016 US presidential election, we identified and suspended a number of accounts that were potentially connected to a propaganda effort by a Russian government-linked organization known as the Internet Research Agency. Oh my, that's actually kind of foreboding, don't you think? Let's continue. Consistent with our commitment to transparency. You know, the transparency of the far left-leaning progressive Twitter that has the biggest double standards on the internet, getting rid of voices like Milo Yiannopoulos, Julian Assange, but still keeping voices like Anita Sarkeesian and Bell Hooks. Anyway, we are emailing you because we have reason to believe that you either followed one of these accounts or retweeted or liked content from these accounts during the election period. This is purely for your own information purposes and is not related to the security concern for your account. So what you're saying is, Twitter is watching me. That could be a problem. I may have to change some of the people I follow. They don't need to know what I like when I'm in the bedroom. We're sharing this information so that you can learn more about these accounts and the nature of the Russian propaganda effort. You can see examples of content from these suspended accounts on our blog if you're interested. I don't know why. I don't care. I don't care about Russian propaganda efforts because I'm not in Russia. I'm not Russian. I do like the drink White Russian, though. That's something that's interesting. You know what? I'm going to continue on. I'll even maybe check out their blog. Maybe we can check that out, too. People look to Twitter for useful, timely, and appropriate information. Oh, they're serious. People come to Twitter to do one of a few things. Bitch, complain, argue, look at porn, and laugh at memes. That's pretty much it. I mean, there are the outliers that decide that they want to make a political spectrum of everything, but, you know, Twitter, as the progressive extremist that you are, you do that more than anyone. We are taking active steps to stop malicious accounts and tweets from spreading, like shadow banning people. That's so amazing, right? Banning people from tweeting without them knowing that you did it just because you don't agree with what they had to say. It's something that you're taking active steps in doing. At least you're not lying. And we are determined to keep ahead of the tactics of bad actors. Bad actors like who? Can you tell me who? What bad actors? The Internet Research Agency? Come on, give me a break. For example, they're going to give examples. For example, in recent months, we have developed new techniques to identify accounts manipulating our platform. Sure, we'll go with that. It's not really an example, it's more of a statement. We have improved our process for challenging suspicious accounts. Again, not really an example, but I'll give it to them. And we have introduced new measures designed to identify and take action on coordinated malicious activity. But Brianna Wu still has an active Twitter account. If you want to talk about coordinated malicious activity, pay attention. That woman contradicts herself on the daily. That, and she still believes that moon rocks can destroy the Earth. Our blog also contains more information about these efforts. You know, that's twice that they've linked their blog. Twitter, are you just lonely? Are you not getting enough traffic to your blog? Is that what it is? You want people to peruse it, maybe? Well, I will be nice to you. I'm going to look at your blog. Don't worry. It's going to happen. Just, I want to finish reading the personal email that you sent to me. People come to Twitter to see what's happening in the world. No, we don't. People come to Twitter to keep up on what's going on with the people they like. There's nothing to do with find out what's happening in the world. We are committed to making it the best place to do that and to being transparent with the people who use and trust our platform. Is that why you fucking banned me? Because I used a turn of phrase that someone who's a fan of Chelsea Handler didn't like, or your new algorithm didn't like, or whatever bot you're fucking using? The same trust and transparency where you let someone like Chelsea Handler tell her hundreds of thousands of followers that President Trump is responsible for the fires that we had in Los Angeles? But me saying, will someone tell this bitch that that's not possible? That's harassment. Targeted harassment, by the way. Yes, you are completely transparent, Twitter, in the absolute bullshit that you spin. You know, I half expected a sincerely before just saying Twitter at the end of it. I guess I was asking for too much. Now, let's peruse this blog. I'm kind of interested. Let's see what we can find, shall we? Here we go. Informing people of malicious activity in the 2016 election. As previously announced, we've identified and suspended a number of accounts that were potentially connected to a propaganda effort by Russian government-linked organization known as the Internet Research Agency. What propaganda effort? Because as far as I can tell, from watching all of the news that's on Twitter, there has been no link to Donald Trump and Russian propaganda in the 2016 election. As a matter of fact, there's no link at all to anyone in Trump's campaign. I mean, there's been links to the DNC, but you wouldn't know anything about that. There is no propaganda effort by the Russian government-linked organization to do anything. And besides, the election is over and done with. Are you sending this out just to say, you know, in 2020, maybe you should take a look at what you're following and tweeting out? I had no idea that Twitter had become a nanny state. I didn't know I need Twitter looking over my shoulder as I'm writing my tweets and going through my timeline, making sure I didn't do anything naughty. I'm just baffled. Examples! I love examples, especially from the Internet Research Agency. Let's take a look. From Pamela Moore. It's a picture of a man with a obviously photoshopped shirt. Let's look. Obama called me a clinger. Hillary calls me a deplorable. Terrorists call me infidel. Trump calls me American. Okay, that's a good slogan. I wish you would have thought of that. That would have been amazing to actually see that on someone's shirt. But it didn't happen. Here's another one. This is from @10GOP. You don't even need these polls. Donald Trump won. You can read it on Bill Clinton's face. How is this propaganda? It's not a poll. It's got a hashtag in it for the debate. Because, let's face it, Hillary Clinton got destroyed in the first debate. If that's a picture from this, then so fucking what? Where's the propaganda? Oh, another one from 10GOP. FBI Director Comey, resign now, the American people. Retweet if you also think the FBI Director Comey should be impeached for blocking the investigation and abetting a criminal. These are memes. Are you kidding me, Twitter? We're getting scolded by you because of memes? Oh, this is from Crystal Johnson. This may be an actual person. Cops have killed 68 people in 22 days since Kaepernick started protesting. 68 and 22. Have no words. Hashtag Keith Lamont Scott. Are you sure that's not on the opposite side? That sounds like something progressives would push. Well, maybe not, because it's talking about cops being killed, and the progressives really don't give a flying fuck about cops dying. Oh, this is the last one. This is again from Pamela Moore. Apparently it's a common name for this. Retweet if you think President Trump should put George Soros on the FBI most wanted list. Hashtag MAGA. You do know that the fucking president cannot deem someone worthy of the FBI most wanted list. Do you want to know how to really stop this Russian propaganda, these bots? Do you want to honestly understand how to not fall prey to things? Common sense. If you have common sense enough to understand that President Trump cannot deem anyone worthy of the FBI's most wanted list, then you won't retweet that. You may retweet it and say, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard, and that counts as a retweet. This cop one. I'm not saying I retweeted this, but say I did. My retweet could have been a response to it, saying something along the lines of, correlation is not causation. That doesn't mean I agree with it, but Twitter sees it as a retweet. Maybe I do believe that FBI Director Comey aided and abetted a criminal by blocking the investigation against Hillary. Just because a propaganda bot put out a meme, so what? The real problem, and this is what Twitter knows, the real problem is that people take these things to heart. Here's a little advice from Uncle Antoine straight to you. Check this stuff yourself. Go by the moniker. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. If it seems to go with your bias almost perfectly, you might want to look into it. Do your own research. Use your head. It's that soft lump that's covered by your skull that is 3 feet above your ass. If you do that, you will never be duped by a Russian propaganda bot or hashtag fake news ever again. But let's give Twitter the benefit of the doubt, shall we? There's a section called Moving Forward, so let's see what Twitter has to say. Even as we continue to learn from the events of the 2016 election, we are taking steps every day to improve the security of our platform and stay one step ahead of those who would abuse it. We know. That's why you have the Trust and Safety Council. You know, headed by Anita Sarkeesian, Zoe Quinn, all of those psychotic feminist women. As part of our preparation for the US midterm elections, our teams are organizing two. Oh, that's what this is about. The midterm elections. They don't want anyone using their platform like Trump did, because Trump played social media like a goddamn fiddle. I can tell you this, if Hillary Clinton used her fucking head and did exactly what Trump did, we would have a female president. All right, let's continue. Our teams are organizing to verify major party candidates for all statewide and federal elective offices and major national party accounts as a hedge against impersonation. Oh, you mean you're going to verify them? You know, the thing that you're supposed to do to make sure that the account is who it says it is, instead of what you've turned it into as acceptance and approval of what that person says. You're going to actually use verification for what it was supposed to be. Interesting. Maybe you should have done that before. Maintain open lines of communication to federal and state election officials to quickly escalate issues that arise. Oh, don't worry. When issues arise, they're going to escalate themselves. Your platform is home to some of the most reactionary people on both sides of the spectrum. They'll escalate themselves. Trust me. Address escalations of account issues with respect to violations of Twitter rules or applicable laws. Like doxing? Impersonation? What? Because you have a platform full of doxers. They've been reported to you. I've reported impersonating accounts to you. They're still there. I've reported harassers to you. People who have threatened people's lives. They're still active. But, you know, we'll let you deal with the escalation of account issues. You know, the Twitter Trust and Safety Council is never on it. continually improve and apply our anti-spam technology to address networks of malicious automation targeting election-related matters. You mean like the sponsored tweets that I have to pass by or click on the right-hand side of it and say, I don't want to see this anymore, and you yet still send me advertisers? Do you want to know what else stops that? Ad blockers. They're really easy. You just download the thing for your browser and it stops them. And monitor trends and spikes in conversations relating to the 2018 elections for potential manipulation activity. You know, if it starts to trend more positively towards someone that Twitter's Trust and Safety Council doesn't think should win, you're going to shadow ban those accounts and say, oh, they were just Russian bots, don't worry about it. Collusion! Conspiracy! I wish I had a fucking tinfoil hat while reading this. They finish with this blog. We are committed to ensuring that Twitter is safe and secure for all users and serves to advance healthy civic discussion and engagement. Our work on these issues will never be done, and we will continue in our efforts to protect Twitter against bad actors and networks of malicious automation and manipulation. Your platform, even with 280 characters, does not give way to healthy civic discussion and engagement. Your platform breeds anger, resentment, rage. It has nothing to do with healthy civic discussion at all. Do you want to know what you could do to breed healthy civic discussion? Create a sarcasm font. Oh, also, an edit button. Surprisingly, that's very helpful. And as for your work never being done, as long as you continue to have double standards when it comes to certain bad actors, you're goddamn right it's never going to be done, because the voices that you silence only breed more voices. When you silence someone who does not deserve to be silenced, and on top of that are given proof that they didn't do what you said they did, well, you tend to piss people off. So I thought Twitter had sent me a personal message. I was intrigued. And then I find out they sent this message to hundreds of thousands of people. I was actually hurt. I thought Twitter was actually starting to pay attention to the little guy. I thought that meant I was a little bit important. Twitter cared about me. That wasn't the case. As a matter of fact, this was nothing more than Twitter saying, we're watching you. And if you decide to promote the wrong type of people, we're going to be looking into you further. And if we really don't like what you have to say, well, we're just going to get rid of you. I don't know about you folks, but when I'm tweeting, I pay attention to what I say. Maybe Twitter should pay more attention to the double standard they have than the 280 characters that I tweet out to my 210 followers. Because if they fixed that, a lot of these problems would go away. And those are my thoughts, folks. I'd love to know yours. Please let me know in the comments. If you like what I do here, please hit like, share, and subscribe. And if you do subscribe, hit that little bell icon so you know when I upload. If you'd like to support the channel, there are 2 links down below. One leads to Patreon, where there are different reward tiers that you can peruse, and the other is for PayPal, for those who don't want to go through Patreon. All of the links to follow me on all of the social medias, including my Discord, are down below. So with all that being said, this has been Help for the Guildless. My name, once again, is Antoine, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening.